Hi, I'm making a video for like the first time that's actually from me and not just about my kids. I'm gonna share why I'm a Christian and why I believe in God. And we've been challenged by our pastor to do this, and I thought it's really important that I do this now because I usually just ignore it when those challenges happen, but in this moment especially, I think it's important. I'm going to start by telling you this is going to be a trigger warning. If you are going through something super hard right now, maybe you don't want to watch this because there are some trigger warnings in here. So turn the video off. I don't want anyone to get flashbacks of anything or deal with that. Okay. I want to say one of the biggest reasons I'm a Christian is because my parents. They were both Christians. They taught me about God growing up. My dad did devotions with us. I went to the same church since I was a baby till I was about 17, 18. My grandparents on both sides were Christian. I grew up in Christ-centered family, Christ-centered home. Okay. That's fairly important. I think it's very important to raise your kids up knowing God. And so I just want to make that clear that is a big part. I'm going to move on to the next part. And this is where, you might want to turn this off if something's, if you're just trigger warning, I don't know. When I was 11 years old, I went to a private school that was far from my home. The bus was like a van. It was really small. It wasn't like a big yellow school bus. And it would drop you off and pick you up directly at your house. And the bus rides were long because the school was about 40 minutes away. And then the kids were at all different stops, like 30 minutes out of the way sometimes. My bus driver's name was Arnie. He was 70 years old. One day while driving us home, he parked the bus, got out of his seat, went up to a girl. And I'm not going to name names because some of the people on my Facebook went on this bus with me and went through this. He just started kissing her in front of all of us. Well, about 3 other girls on the bus. He started kissing her in front of us. And obviously now if that happened, I would stop it or I would go tell my parents. I would tell someone. I would get the police or something. But, this sounds horrible, but all we did was laugh. We said, ew, gross, cooties, and, we laughed, and none of us told anybody or did anything but laugh at the situation. I think we were just young, and we didn't understand. Things started getting progressively worse in what would happen when he would park. And I'm not going to go into detail, but it would get worse than kissing. When he parked, there was always other girls on the bus that would witness what happened. There was never one person alone that I know of. I was always the second to last person to be dropped off at home. One day, he didn't drop me off when I was supposed to be dropped off. He dropped the girl who was supposed to be last before me. I thought, that's weird, but whatever. He kept driving, and then he parked, and I said, great, And I remember looking out my window, and there were lots of trees. He parked the bus and sat there. And I started getting really bad anxiety, and I started, sometimes when there's other girls on the bus, he does some really weird things. I don't want to be alone when these weird things happen. I've never been alone when any of that happened. So I started praying. And while I was praying, I felt God just tell me it was going to be okay. Like, I didn't hear any voice or anything like that, but I just felt a peace come over me. Like, things are going to go okay. and my anxiety just disappeared. I was sitting there and I just kept praying in my head. You know, I wasn't praying out loud or anything, but I did it quietly in my head. And I remember he looked at me and he just put his head like this in his hands. Then he looked up and sat there another 5 minutes, staring in front of him. And then he just started the bus and drove away and drove me home. That has always been, when I doubt God, that situation has always been why I still believe in him and why I know he's real. It means I feel like he saved me from something a lot worse. He eventually did get arrested for what he did, and I had to talk to detectives, and he did his time. And, the whole thing came out. So, he actually now is dead. I went through a hard time in high school because of this. Not all because of this, but, high schools already have bad hormones, and I had a lot of bad anxiety and trust issues, and I went through a lot of different things, and there was a time it got so bad, I didn't want to even be here anymore, and I was hospitalized. Let me tell you, when I got out of the hospital, I lost so many friends. A lot of people at church were mean to me, told my mom I had demons in me. I don't think everyone understands when stuff like that goes on. So I got hospitalized and came out and just felt like I lost a ton of friends. It felt like people didn't understand, and people at church were jerks. And I started kind of to doubt God a lot. It's like these people, they claim that they're loving, and the people who were being loving toward me mostly were not Christians. The people who were like, I understand, I'm sorry. And the people who were supposed to show the love of Jesus were just so judgmental and so rude and so unkind. And I have since gotten apologies from a lot of them. I want to say that, but I made this video for a point to say, we need to be loving. We need to show people Jesus, not judge them and point out every single sin someone has. It's not your job all the time to do. I understand we want to lead people toward God and tell them when they're in the wrong, and sometimes that's okay. But if you see you're pushing someone further away from God because of you and how you're treating them, it needs to stop. You need to slow down and just pray for them. Prayer is so powerful. Pray for them. You don't always have to scream and tell people you're in sin, because you're in sin too. We all are. And I understand some people aren't trying to change or get out of their sin. But there's a point when you keep telling them and they're butting their head against you. Maybe they're not gonna change. Maybe you have to accept that. And I understand you want to save them. I understand it's not okay sometimes. You can't always change someone's mind. With this gay marriage that just got legal, I personally do feel it is a sin. I don't think God intended for man to be with man or woman to be with woman. But just love them. You're not always going to change their mind. What's worse? Them not changing and never knowing God and being turned away? Or them not changing and seeing your love and opening their Bible and knowing about Jesus? That's what we need to think about. We need to be loving to people overall, because I've been to where I felt so mistreated. Don't be one of those fake Christians that never go through struggles, that put on a pretend smile and a little squeaky voice. There's so many of them. Everyone struggles. Everyone goes through things. Share your stories so that other people can see how you overcame them and how God helped you. And life's not perfect, and it's never going to be. And you're not perfect, and you're never going to be. We all need to change. We all need to keep changing and growing. There's never a point when we become the perfect Christian, the perfect Jesus follower. Never. We should always keep growing and going and going towards God. That was the point of my video. And I hope you all liked it. I do have one quote I want to read. And I think it's a nice one. It's actually a priest who got spit on by 2 gay men. He said, "The greatest evidence of authentic goodwill is the way we treat people with whom we passionately disagree." The way you treat people. I've been mistreated by Christians. I've been mistreated by lots of different people, but I've been mistreated by a lot of Christians. I didn't want to believe in God at some points. I didn't want to believe it. I wanted to turn away because I didn't like how I was treated. I didn't want to be like those people. But the only reason I kept believing is because of what I went through, and I knew God was with me then. Some people might not have that experience. That's what I'm going to leave everyone with.